Whatever. It's not the song I thought we were starting with, but how can you go wrong? Anyways. Hi, guys. It's Pride Month. I don't know how loud the music is back there, so if anybody wants to tell me if they can even hear me, you let me know. Hi, Paige. How are you? So it's Pride Month. Hey. And I don't have any Pride books because, quite frankly, they're very expensive. Has anybody looked up children's books on Pride? They're like $40 a piece. I can't afford this. I'm like basically unemployed. Anyways, I would love to have read some books on Children's Pride Month about having, you know, same-sex parents or something, but I can't afford that. So instead, we're going to just do, I've got The Invisible String. I've got, ooh, this is one of my favorites, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. And then I have, if we have time, Room on the Broom, and Cloudy with a Chance of Me. Now that's, of course, if we all just have enough time, then we'll do those books too. So hopefully you're watching, but I'm going to start with The Invisible String. Oh, and by the way, I've got some like bad news, but also good news. Sorry, guys. So I will be doing my readings every Sunday now. I won't be doing Wednesdays, and I'm only doing them until 4th of July. But that also means 4th of July gets a big bang extravaganza from me, where I'll be setting off fireworks while reading books for your viewing pleasure, so that we can make sure that my last book reading goes out with a bang. Also, in 2 weeks' time, I will be doing a special book reading for my birthday, because my birthday is on the 27th, which is Saturday, but I'll read on Sunday, and then it'll be like a big birthday thing, and I got an outfit and stuff, so yeah, so let's get to The Invisible String. By the way, can anybody tell me if the music in the background is like way too much, or if you can hear me at all? If somebody could just put that in the chat, that would be good. All I just see is that everybody's here. Hi, 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 hi. I'm waving, I'm waving, I'm waving. Hello, hello, hello. There you are. The Invisible String. To the children of the world and the magic of string. Liza and Jeremy, the twins, were asleep one calm and quiet night. Suddenly, it began to rain very hard. Thunder rumbled until it got so loud it woke them up. "Mommy, Mommy," they cried as they ran to her. "Don't worry, you two. It's just the storm making all that noise. Go back to bed." "We want to stay close to you," said Jeremy. "We're scared." Mom said, "You know we're always together, no matter what." "But how can we be together when you're out here and we're in bed?" said Liza. right in front of them and said, "This is how." Rubbing their sleepy eyes, the twins came closer to see what Mom was holding. I was about your age when Mommy first told me about the invisible string. "I don't see a string," said Jeremy. "You don't need to see the invisible string. People who love each other are always connected by a very special string made of love." "But if you can't see it, how do you know it's there?" said Liza. "Even though you can't see it with your eyes, you can feel it with your heart and know that you are always connected to everyone you love." When you're at school and you miss me, your love travels all the way along the string until I can feel it tug on my heart. And when you tug it right back, we feel it in our hearts, said Jeremy. I'm glad you like my hairband. It was the dog. I stole it from a bitch. Does Jasper the cat have an invisible string? Liza asked. She sure does, said Mom. And the best friends like me and Lucy, asked Liza. Best friends too. How far can the string reach? Anywhere and everywhere, Mom said. Would it reach me even if I were in a submarine, Captain, deep in the ocean? Said Jeremy. Yes, Mom said, even there. Or a mountain climber? Even there. A dancer in France? Even there. A jungle explorer? Even there. How about an astronaut in space? Yeah, even there. Then Jeremy quietly asked, "Can my string reach all the way to Uncle Brian in heaven?" Yes, even there. I'm not sure why Jimmy Buffett was the particular choice for Pride Month, but somehow I feel like it fits.
What is Pride Month?
For LGBTQ.
Oh. Yeah, who doesn't? Okay.
My DJ's been living in the hills for too long. Does the string go away when you're mad at us? Never, said Mom. Love is stronger than anger. And love, as long as love is in your heart, the string will always be there.
Drink.
Now drink. Oh, they're wondering what's been cooking in the background. They can hear it.
Oh, yeah? Frying up some pork chops for some pork stir fry.
Pork stir fry is what's cooking behind the camera over here. Since you can hear it sizzling.
Next quarantine, I should have my own cooking show.
You should do a cooking show. Oh,
will you be my DJ?
Yeah! I would find all the songs about food, every song ever. But then you'd have to cook the food that the songs were about.
Yeah, it's true.
It's kind of cool. Because there's probably some weird-ass fucking songs about, like squid ratatouille or something. You know what I mean?
I don't think there is. I don't think anybody's heard a song about squid ratatouille or whatever the fucking Disney movie.
I'm just saying. Even when you get older and can't agree about things, like what movie to see, or what game to play in the back seat, or what time to go to bed. Oh, that's right. You two should be in bed. Mom's just realizing that her life lesson is keeping the kids up till the hours tonight. And with that, they all laughed as Mom chased the twins back to their beds. Within a few minutes, they were asleep, even though the storm was still making the same loud noises outside. Dude, that pork smells so freaking good right now. As they slept, they started dreaming of all of the invisible strings they have, and all the strings their friends have, and their friends' friends have, until everyone in the world was connected, and from deep inside, they all could see clearly. Hi, Barry. I'm right up the street from you, by the way. No one is ever alone. Okay, and that was the end of The Invisible String, which is a story about how we're all connected by love. John, I agree. If you could sit in this kitchen right now, you'd be like, shit, where's the appetizer? Next, oh, the appetizers. Look, I have an appetizer. Yeah! Steffi, drunk and eating carrots while reading books. The thing. With baked teeth too. So should I read Room on a Broom or terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I'll take both.
So I get a chance to meatballs.
Or,
One of my all-time childhood favorites. Thank you very much.
Reason we read this one?
Hell yeah.
I'll put my carrot down. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Because I finally got someone to vote. So, cloudy with a chance of meatballs. We were all sitting around the big kitchen table. It was Saturday morning. Pancake morning. Mom was squeezing oranges for juice. Henry and I were betting on how many pancakes we could eat. And Grandpa was doing the flipping. This Grandpa was doing the flipping. Did anybody else have a grandpa who could flip pancakes? Seconds later, something flew through the air and headed toward the kitchen ceiling. It's going down already, guys. And landed right on Henry. After we realized that the flying object was only a pancake, we all laughed. Even Grandpa. Breakfast continued quite uneventful. All the other pancakes landed in the pan, and all of them were eaten. Even the one that landed on Henry. I have to say, that's kind of hysterical. The taste is great. I'll read the Alexander one after this. That night, touched off by the pancake incident at breakfast, Grandpa told us the best tall tale bedtime story he'd ever told. Across the ocean, over lots of hungry, bumpy mountains, across 3 hot deserts and 1 small ocean. I didn't know an ocean was small. There lay a tiny town of Chew and Swallow.
Chew and swallow.
Chew and swallow. Chew and swallow. I can speak.
Meet New York.
I need more wine.
The arson had extremely large feet.
Do you want to read this book? Since you know it so well? In most ways, it was very much like any other tiny town. It had a main street lined with stores, houses, and trees, and gardens around them, a schoolhouse, about 300 people, and some assorted cats and dogs. But there was no food stores in the town of Chew and Swallow. They didn't need any. The sky supplied all the food they could possibly want. The only thing that was really different about Chew and Swallow was its weather. It came 3 times a day, at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everything that everyone ate came from the sky. Whatever the weather served, that's what they ate. But it never rained rain. It never snowed snow, and it never blew just wind. It rained things like soup and juice. It snowed mashed potatoes and green peas, and sometimes the wind blew storms of hamburgers. I more or less hope nobody's a vegetarian. watch the weather report on television in the morning, and they would even hear the prediction of what's next day's food. When the townspeople went outside, they carried their plates, cups, glasses, forks, spoons, knives, and napkins with them. That way they would always be prepared for any kind of weather. If there were leftovers, and there usually were, the people took them home and put them in the refrigerators in case they got hungry between meals. The menu varied. By the time they woke up in the morning, breakfast was coming down. After a brief shower of orange juice, low clouds of sunny-side-up eggs moved in, followed by pieces of toast, butter, and jelly sprinkled down like for the toast. And most of the time it rained milk afterwards. For lunch one day, frankfurters, already in their rolls, blew in from the northwest at about 5 miles an hour. There were mustard clouds nearby. The wind shifted to the east and brought in baked beans. A drizzle of soda finished off the meal. This all just seems quite messy. Did you just freeze soy sauce?
No, that would be weird. I wouldn't do that.
Teriyaki sauce? Life of the townspeople was delicious up until the weather took a turn for the worse. This is what I'm talking about. I think it would be like this all the time. Need more wine. One day there was nothing but gorgonzola cheese all day long. The next day there was only broccoli, overcooked. And the next day there were Brussels sprouts and peanut butter with mayonnaise. Another day there was pieces fog. No one could see where they were going, and they could barely find the rest of the meal that was stuck in the fog. I mean, overcooked broccoli doesn't sound like the worst. But pea soup? It's like The Exorcist. The food was getting larger and larger, and so were the portions. The people were getting frightened. Violent storms blew up frequently. Awful things were happening. One Tuesday, there was a hurricane of bread and rolls all day long and into the night. And there were soft rolls and hard rolls, and some with seeds and some without. There was white bread and rye and whole wheat toast. Most of it was larger than they had ever seen bread. And the rolls before. It was a terrible day. Everyone had to stay indoors. Roofs were damaged, and the sanitation department was beside itself. The mess took the workers 4 days to clean up, and the sea was full of floating rolls. To help out, the people piled up as much bread as they could in their backyards. The birds picked at it a bit, but it just stayed there and got staler and staler. There was a storm of pancakes one morning and a downpour of maple syrup that nearly flooded the town. A huge pancake covered the school. No one could get it off because of its weight, so they had to close the school. Lunch one day brought 15-inch drifts of cream cheese and jelly sandwiches. Everyone ate themselves the sixth the day that ended with a stomachache. Cream cheese and jelly sandwiches? I've never tried that. Is that okay? Is that a thing? Did I miss something? There was an awful salt and pepper wind accompanied by even worse tomato tornado. People were sneezing themselves silly and running to avoid the tomatoes. The town was a mess. There were seeds and pulp everywhere. The sanitation department gave up. The job was too big. Everyone feared for their lives. They couldn't go outside most of the time. Many houses had been badly damaged with giant meatballs. Stores were boarded up and there was no more school for the children. Cream cheese and jelly? Then again, I'm the girl who likes escargot and fish eggs. So, who's to say? So a decision was made to abandon the town of Chew and Swallow. It was a matter of survival. The people glued together the giant pieces of stale bread sandwich style and peanut butter, took the absolute necessities with them, and set sail on their rafts for a new land. I have apparently missed a cream cheese and jelly sandwich movement. So I had no idea that was a thing. Did you know that was a thing? After being afloat for a week, they finally reached a small coastal town which welcomed them. The bread had held up surprisingly well enough for them to build temporary houses for themselves out of it. The children began school again, and the adults all tried to find places for themselves in the new land. The biggest change they had was getting used to buying food at the supermarket. They found it odd that the supermarket kept on shelves, packaged in boxes, cans, and bottles. Meat that had to be cooked was kept in large refrigerators. Nothing came down from the sky except rain and snow. The clouds above their heads were not made of fried eggs. No one got hit by a hamburger ever again. And nobody dared to go back to Chew and Swallow to find out what had happened to it. They were too afraid. Henry and I were awake until the very end of Grandpa's story. I remember his goodnight kiss. morning, we woke up to see snow falling outside the window. We ran downstairs for breakfast and ate it a little faster than usual so we could go sledding with Grandpa. It's funny, but even as we were sliding down the hill, we thought we saw a giant pat of butter on the top, and we could almost smell mashed potatoes. The end. And that was Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And I just wanted to remind everybody, once again, that I will be doing this just on Sundays and only until the Sunday after 4th of July, in which I will have a large 4th of July extravaganza, even if I have to literally read books while I run behind me and set off fireworks by myself. I will do this for you. I will make it happen. So yeah, we'll have fireworks on the after 4th of July Sunday reading, which will be my last reading. Also, don't forget in 2 weeks is my birthday reading. So you gotta tune in for that because it's my 35th birthday, guys. I'm old. Party with me. We're going to do Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. So here we go. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I get out of bed in the morning, I tripped on a skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was just going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in this breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In other words, has anybody ever seen the firefighters in Australia? I'd move too. There's a fire somewhere. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have the seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I was being scrunched, and I said I was being smushed. I said I don't get to seat at the window, and I am going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. That's funny. There's a picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. And counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. He kind of looks, you know who it looks like? It looks like Derry from Letterkenny, right? Doesn't it kind of look like Derry from Letterkenny? That's kind of funny. He lives. He's real. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. Oh, that is a terrible day. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I feel like it's that MySpace top 8 thing. You know, if you didn't make the top 8 on MySpace, it was like your life was over. Does anybody else remember that? Is it just me? Was I the only person who actually felt like really bad about that? Probably. Clay's nodding yes. I hope you sit on attack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get double-decker strawberry ice cream cone and the ice cream part falls on the counterpart out of the cone and on the part and lands in Australia. With the firemen. There's a lot of references to Australia in this book. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had a little coconut sprinkles on top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Now it's a party, guys. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. I shit you not, this book references Australia all the time. Oh no.
Nothing. That was nothing. That was the save followed instantly by a fail.
Oh no.
That's what I get.
I'll post later, guys. I'll post what happened later. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting...
There's a piece of glass taking like this somewhere.
Well, you see,
I was dropping cups and picking them up and somehow broke that. But there's a piece of glass.
he caught the cup from falling, but as he caught the cup, he did this. And kitchen disasters while reading books. Just more fun and excitement while Stephy's drunk reading books. Yeah. Do you want my shoes? On the way downstairs, the elevator closed on my door, and while we were waiting for my mom to get in the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and I started crying because of the mud. Nick said I was a crybaby. clean break, we might be able to glue it back in. We have super glue.
Yeah, you can.
You could probably just glue it. It was a clean break.
No, it's all cracked. We'll just replace it.
While I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everybody, and no one even answered. So we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. And I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the store man said, we're sold out. They made me buy plain old white shoes. But they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at the office, he said that I couldn't play with his copying machine. But I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as I could be except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There was lima beans for dinner, and I hate limas. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. I don't think I've ever had a bath that was too hot. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and then Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that.
That kid needs a little perspective in his life instead of stopping being a whiny little bitch.
Even in Australia. And that was the end of Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad.
Really? There wasn't even like a moral at the end? Awful.
Go to Australia? Call Australia? I'm sure there's female firefighters in Australia. We could go. We'll both find people.
I don't need to go to Australia to find people.
It's true. Anyways. Hi, guys. It's Pride Month! And I've got carrots, which I haven't finished eating. And we've just finished 4 books in record time, I think, because it's not even been an hour. But with that being said, just a reminder, I'm not doing this Wednesdays anymore, and then the Sunday after 4th of July is going to be my last reading. So, I'm gonna, maybe one. Everybody remember to love everybody. We read today, in case you are just getting in and would like to read this, watch this later, we had Alexander's No Good Very Bad Day. We had Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. We did not do Room on a Broom. So, I'm sorry, we did 3 books. And we did The Invisible String, which is about everybody is connected by love. We're all connected. Love each other. Anyways.
Unless you're a Sith, then it's all about hate and the dark side.
Unless this is Star Wars, and then these morals don't apply.
I don't mind Jar Jar Binks. There, I said it. Matter of fact, I'd go so far to say is that the prequels are better. Our Episode 1, 2, and 3 are better than this new Disney nonsense. I said it.
Like Mandalorian, or like Disney?
No, like the new movies.
Well, yeah, because we watched the one where we're just like.
Yeah, they're awful. They're just not that good.
Yeah. Big fan of old Star Wars, not such a big fan of new Star Wars. Sorry, Disney, it's just not my jam. Anyways, I won't see you Wednesday. Unless, of course, the Earth goes into wild discourse and I have to give another lesson on love, which I will do, because I will keep scolding you until you get it right. All 3 of you watching this right now. And, if anybody is linked with me on YouTube, Miles has been very nice to help me in uploading all of my videos, reading books, with the exception of like 2, to my YouTube. So you can watch or whatever with your friends at your own leisure. And also, if you ever want to scroll through my feed, you can find my videos in my videos. To watch these or show them to your kids or whatever at any time. So anyways, it's Pride Month, and I wanted to give a shout out to my Pride community and love everyone, and everyone be nice to one another. And I got nothing else, guys. I'm exhausted trying to teach everybody how to be sweet and kind and nice to each other. Just fucking be cool. Okay, love you guys. Bye.